Hey book reader friends, this is Christy with Tatted Reads, and I want to do this video, an updated video on the Colorsoft, the Kindle Colorsoft Signature Edition by Amazon. I think it's time to talk about the one that didn't get away. So if you've watched my previous video, and many of you did, it was a 4,000 view video for me. And basically my husband and I both had Kindles. I bought them as gifts. I think it was anniversary gifts or something. I can't even remember now. Maybe it was Christmas. But bought him one, bought me one. Returned it to get replacement because of the yellow bar that was rumored to be an issue. It was an issue. We had it on both of our devices. Returned it or exchanged it. Got another device, same problem. Third device, same problem. So we returned them and said, please, full refunds. That was a nightmare. But 5 months later, for the one that did not get away, for the one that I've been able to keep, he did not do a replacement. I did. He said, no, I'm done. So it might be 2025, 2026, actually 2026, 2027 before he ever gets a color again. He is just waiting for that next one. Me, I am itching for those color covers. So I went ahead and ordered another one. Have had it 5 months, and this is that updated review. I am hot. I finally turned on the ceiling fan because this is like the 5th attempt, and I'm like pouring sweat. And so if you hear the fan up top on the ceiling, I apologize. It is just so hot that I am losing my mind. I had to turn it on. It's midday Texas. I should have done this early morning, and instead I waited midday. Here we go. Before we talk about the Colorsoft, I am going to show you a couple others. The first one is the matcha. So as you can see, the colors are black and I'd say gray, but you can say white. There is the screen. You're getting to see the full font that I have to read in when I do not have glasses. So this is how I read at night. Everyone laughs at me. It's okay. I'm used to it. And the screen is very beautiful, very bright, very vibrant. We're going to take it down to what you would actually read if you were outside, which, let's face it, that was originally why we wanted Paperwhites years ago, was so that we could read the screen outside. I think we've kind of forgotten that, but that's how bright it is on its dimmest setting. One of the things that I do like that they kept with the matcha and the signature edition, the Paperwhite signature edition, is that they put the dark light mode right here, where it is not that way in the Colorsoft. It is actually one of my top complaints. And they really quick again, there's the screen. Okay, now we're gonna go to the Paperwhite signature edition by Kindle. And because I opened the flap, it actually opened the book too. So, all right, same thing as the matcha. It is gray and silver, gray and white, very dark, but it also is down on its dimmest. Again, it has its dark and light right here, which is fantastic because it dims or it blacks out the whole screen instead of just the book page. Because if you're reading, let's say, next to your spouse, and at night you have this on dark, but you go up here to change something, this whole thing lights up the whole room. It's awful. So I do love it being right there and that it changes out the entire screen, not just the book cover. And I'll show you what it looks like on the Colorsoft in a minute. But you can see that the font is extremely smooth. The page is very bright and white and clean. Let's make sure I put it on. Let me show you on the full brightness. There's on a full brightness. Typically you would not use a full brightness outside because you've got the sun, so really save the battery life and dim the screen. I forget to do that sometimes. I'll be outside with it the same way that it looks at night for me. So I'm just running the battery down for no reason. But that is how it looks completely turned up. Real quick, let's compare that to the full brightness of the matcha. You can kind of see there's a difference in the colors. This has I'd say almost a blue hue to it, very light blue, and this is more white, Paperwhite signature edition. I really wish I could yeah, there we go. You can kind of see the color differences now. And I have a cat that's playing with my camera because she's mad that she's even in here, but she's cried to get in here, so I let her in. All right, now to the one we all wait for. This is our Kindle number 4, which I've touched it so many times today. It's got fingerprints all over my clear case. Sometimes if the light hits it just right, which I can't get it to do on camera this recording, but it has a iridescent coloring that just really looks kind of dope. It almost show purple. It's really dope, to the point where my stickers are now see-through. I wanted to be sure that that kind of stood out to me. Here's the front. As you can see, there's a little color to the cover. It's not just black. It does help that I'm using the same book across so you can kind of compare. I hear a truck coming, so I'm really stalling just to hopefully let it have time to go by. But Colorsoft, Paperwhite. You can see the difference in the covers. The color difference between the Paperwhite and the Colorsoft, it's minimal on darker covers, but it's obvious. And it's really just beautiful when you can see faint blues. You can see this better in person, but it's absolutely glorious. And I'm actually on the cover. Let's go in a few pages. We'll use the copyright warnings. But this one on screen, it looks as white as the Paperwhite would. Let's turn up the Paperwhite really quickly so that I'm showing you honest comparisons here. They're not that different. When they first came out, this screen was one or two things. It was either really yellow, or it was really yellow here, or really like a blue tinge, and it still has that in person a little bit, but you can see the difference. There's a slight difference to it. Now let's compare them if you were outside, because you wouldn't want your brightness on. Let's take them down to be matching. All right, Colorsoft, Paperwhite. You can see that the Paperwhite is honestly a little brighter, and this really makes an impact when you're trying to read outside, or just where the lighting's a little not available to you. And it's really just kind of obnoxious how smoky they made this. They really made it where it's almost impossible to read the color outside. Another complaint I do have about it is the way, let's go ahead and turn up the brightness so that you can see, is the way they chose to do the black or white paper. And that's that you have to be in a book, and you can do it here. But like I said earlier, if you're in the room where you just made the page black, it's beautiful, but then you let's just say you want to maybe sync it or take it over to airplane mode so it doesn't run the battery down. That whole top bar is white. That is really bright in a dark room when your partner's trying to sleep, and it's obnoxious, and that is literally the only way you can change it. If you go to the home screen where all the cute color covers are, that is missing. That little black-white page is missing. One thing I will tell you that does make a difference in the covers and how vivid they look is under color style. Come over here when you can hit the button and change it to vivid. It says enhances color in less saturated images. Standard is balanced color for everyday reading, which is, if you're trying to save your battery and you don't really care, then change it. I don't really see a huge difference most of the time. Sometimes it makes a difference in the font. It makes it a little more grainy. This is in the standard. I'll be honest with you, you're going to look at it and say, there's absolutely no difference. But I want to show you anyway, just to be fair to Kindle. I have to say, now that whatever they've done to fix the pages, or maybe I got lucky and got one that didn't have the yellow hue as bad, I am in love with it. So much so that by the time you watch this, I would have given my mother-in-law one. She has our older Kindle, the one that was out before, and she's loved it, but she is like, I would love to have that color. And even though, we've had our issues with them, praying the one in the box in their living room waiting for her right now at the time of recording this doesn't have that. But I just have to show you these. But she wants it, so we're going with it. And I haven't had a problem with this one. I would recommend the Kindle Colorsoft now. It is 7-inch, waterproof. I would not sink it in the pool or sink it in the bathtub, but splashing it seems to be fine. I haven't had too much issue with that. And it's 32 gig standard. And I will say that holds somewhere between 11,000 and 32,000 books, depending. If you're going to read graphic novels or comics, it's going to hold a few less. If you have bigger books on here, then it's going to hold a few less. But really, even if you could only get 11,000 books on here, that's insane. My matcha, funny story, my matcha, I wasn't thinking that day, and I went through and just went download. I downloaded all my audiobooks and maxed the storage. It is also a 32, if I'm not mistaken. That was funny. Had to go back through and undownload all of those. I was trying to see if it said it on the back, quite simply, but I cannot see. But the matcha is cute too. This is not a matcha video, but it's actually my favorite of the new releases. I didn't buy the Scribe because I have the Scribe, the older edition, and until they come out with Scribe color, and they will, until they do, there's no sense in me having that and the Remarkable Pro that is color. So I have to say, for now, the matcha is my favorite. The Colorsoft is better than it was. It is definitely vibrant. It is nice instead of grabbing my phone that's going to distract me at night and going through all of the not only the things on my phone for all the books on my phone and Kindle app, but then I go crazy into Amazon and start looking at books. And then I get wild, and then I don't get sleep. So having the colors here have been fantastic for me. I am in love with it. I do look forward to the future editions. This is their first, and it's something we've wished for a very long time. And I am happy to say that for 5 months, I have loved this device tremendously, and I do recommend it. You guys, thank you for being here, and I really appreciate your support, and I will see you soon. Bye.